So the 238 on your picture as well. Ariel Elkin, another strong driver wearing the VDK colors, coming from a country that's not been quite renowned for his big past in motorsport. This is Israel, of course, where you don't get much of a chance to compete. But internationally speaking, Ariel Elkin is one of the representatives of this country and doing well at his age. Ariel Elkin, very well focused. By his side from just the 261. This is Emily Covisto driving for Koski Motorsport Tonica chassis. That whatever happens, they will be qualified for the pre-final, but they still could get a chance to have a better starting position at the end of those heats. We'll make the calculations in the end, but let's keep in mind that Nikola Tsolov will be starting on pole position. Camara as well is assured to be starting from the front row, whatever happens, unless a retirement. But Norton Andreasen, Kucharczyk, Lindblad, Alfio Spina, this could be the order at the end or not. This will be depending on the result of this last qualifying heat. Now, the starting grid appears on your screen. Rafael Camara and Timotheus Kucharczyk alongside each other. Tuka Tapanen and Daniel Breeze on the row number 2. Igor Gochukwu and Harvard Lindblad on row number 3. Ariel Elkin and Artem Savyukin on row number 4. Qualifying heat B against D underway here at Campillos with still 22 degrees in the air, as it's close to 4 o'clock local time here in the south of Spain. If you are joining us right now, thank you for being part of the party. Champions of the Future round 3, as we're going to have in just a moment the last qualifying heat of the OK class before concluding the show with 3 more qualifying heat for the junior category. And plenty of exciting things more to see. As for now, Rafael Camara needs to secure the victory in order to start on the front row of the pre-final grid. Are we good to go for racing? Yes, we are. Let's go out. Rafael Camara, pretty good start in front of Kucharczyk. Watch out for the dive of Tuka Tapanen, who stays in third. Daniel Breeze stays in 4th, entering turn number 1. Oh, and a big off over there. A couple of drivers, 4 drivers involved in a big incident outside of turn number 2. And a lot of sand flying in the air. Let's see who we have over there. But there was a big contact against the tire wall. Everybody seems to be on their feet. But that was heavy on this side of the picture. We have Carrasquedo, we have Giuliano Olzem, and we have Carmen Krav as well, missing 3 drivers onto the track right now. Carrasquedo, Olzem, and Carmen Krav, unfortunately involved in a big tussle, wheel to wheel, and at such a speed in the 2 fast right-hander in 1 and 2. That could be actually coming with some form of punition. In this case, this will be retirement, I'm afraid, after coming together. But one of the 3 actually managed to get back onto the track and get going in this race. This is one of the Praga representatives. This is the 253. This is Arthur Ronjon, actually. I was searching for him. But Arthur Ronjon is well with us, actually. So, forget what I just said. Arthur Ronjon is with us. But unfortunately, I think that Giuliano Olzem and Carmen Krav won't be taking part in this race no longer. Giuseppe Cascaredo, I think, has taken his place back onto the track. He managed to get this engine going again. In the meantime, what's happening at the front? Let's get back with the leaders. Rafael Camara under intense pressure from Timotheus Kucharczyk. Tuka Tapanen in 3rd, Igor Gochukwu in 4th. Then we have Daniel Britz still behind. Arvid Lindblad down in 6, Ariel Elkin in 7, Ruben Moya 8, Norton Andreasen in 9. As well in 10th place, we have the 252 of, this is Ruben Moya, my apologies. 10th place, this is the 261. Following on, this is Emily Coivisto. Oh, and a big of a tussle, a contact almost between Kucharczyk and Tapanen. Oh, that was close over there. As Tapanen dived, or at least tried to dive through in turn number 1. He made his move to show to Kucharczyk where he was, but he didn't make that stick. And further back, Gochukwu is losing a place to Harvey Lindblad. The charge is on for Harvey Lindblad, and there he goes, going past his teammate from Czech Republic. But what a movement and what a moment that was, actually. I thought that the 2 were going to go together, but in the process, Kucharczyk actually lost a bit of momentum and is being put under pressure by Tuka Tapanen, still very much in the mix. Coming to the hairpin number 11, going around the outside, and Tapanen made that stick and climbs into 2nd place. And now it's all about getting close to the leader, Rafael Camara, once again, and you can see the gesture. Tapanen says to Kucharczyk, stays just behind me, let's keep it all together, let's work together, because there's 6 tenths to go catch, and there's Rafael Camara at the end of it. And Camara, of course, with 3 laps completed, is not watching over. He's just keeping it steady. He leads the way. He does what he needs to do with the fastest lap in his hand. This is very much logical. Of course, he has no one behind and no one in front of him. He can actually open the throttle and have no concern about what's happening behind. Tuka Taponen in second place then, with just a 0.2 of a second advantage, taking Timos Kucharczyk with him. Kucharczyk, of course, dropping a bit, a couple of meters that he lost. Timos Kucharczyk in just the last corners. Ariel Lindblad crawling to 4th, Igor Gochukwu 5th. Then we have Daniel Brice. At the moment, the classification remains unchanged. At the chase behind this young man, the leader, Rafael Camara. Of course, more than willing to conclude this season on a high. We all remember the conclusion of the European Championship, where Rafael Camara, one of his heats, unfortunately in Zuera, was pushed out of the way. A retirement that cost him the title against Freddie Slater, against Andrea Kimi Antonelli, I was going to say. So Camara was the closest rival to Antonelli all the way down to Zuera, but the retirement actually ruined his last hopes of sealing the deal. But there's one more chance for him, I would say then 2 more chances to maybe get titles this season. First one this weekend against Lindblad and Turney in Champions of the Future, and why not next weekend as well in the World Championship. And that's why he needs to keep on dominating to show his strength to the opposition. At the moment on your screen is Igor Gochukwu being chased by Daniel Brice. Not the best of start for Daniel Brice, who dropped 2 positions in the opening stages. And now the DPK Racing driver is going to try to make up for the ground. He has 2 Car Republic drivers in front of him, Igor Gochukwu and Harvey Lindblad. Lindblad still searching for a bit of pace as he tumbled down to 6th at the moment in the classification, on equal points to Rintaro Sato. Camara still very much assured as it stands to start on the front row of the grid. We should have actually, and we will have, if nothing changes, Sullivan Camara in the pre-final of the class tomorrow at the start. Kucharczyk, as it stands in 3rd place, could be starting on 3rd on the grid. Stenholm by his side on 2nd row. The grid of the pre-final, of course, will be made official and published in the coming hours on championskarting.com. But right now, let's focus on the battle at stake, as Camara is being put under intense pressure and doesn't lead anymore this race. Tuka Taponen dives into the turn number 11, and takes the lead and on his way to potentially the victory. I'm losing my words to it, but Tuka Taponen made a beautiful move, and he had nothing to be afraid of. Rafael Camara still have some laps to go. We're halfway through this qualifying heat, and the Brazilian might have what it takes to fight back against the Finnish driver. Let's see what happens, but Tuka Taponen is your new leader, diving through one of the hairpins. This is one of the spots where we have seen the most overtaking maneuvers. I told you that coming to this weekend, we've counted with the drivers up to 10 positions, 10 possibilities for overtakings on this track, which is kind of huge when you consider this. And we've seen that happening actually, not only in the first sector, the turn number 11, where Taponen made his move, but also the last part of the track. So I gotta say that this layout has been providing some intense level of racing with a lot of overtaking done. Also some scary moments as well. But so far, we can only but be happy about the situation right now and the choice of coming to Karting Center Campillos. Igor Gochukwu in front of one of the local boys, Daniel Brice, trying to catch up as well with the young American into the last sector of the track. Left, right, the chicane, almost a chicane, a bit longer than that, but you really get the drivers together at the end of the lap, and it actually creates, as we said, opportunities for moves. And right now, Ariel Lindblad, let's have a look at the respective times. 60.8 for both Lindblad and Igor Gochukwu, very much in the same lap times at the moment. Daniel Brice as well in 1 minute 0.8. So it's going to be quite difficult on equal terms to try to make a difference. Same chassis, of course, from Car Republic to DPK. Different setups, different use of the tires, as all of the drivers, of course, are being allowed 2 sets of tires for the entirety of the weekend, from quali to the final. And there he goes, Daniel Brice running outside of Igor Gochukwu. Nothing that the young American could have done there. The door was open, and if he had shut it in the middle, it would have been contact. Now he's going to have to fight back outside of turn number 14. Dropping a place, Hugo Guchuku is 6 at the moment, with Ruben Moya behind in 7. Back with the leaders, 3 tenths between Tuka Taponen and Rafael Camara. Entering the first sector, Timo Kucharczyk trying to catch up and stay within the distance, but 8 tenths of a second is quite a bit of a gap. It depends if Camara launches an attack or if he keeps on being stuck behind the leader at the moment. He waits certainly for the good moment to make his move and to go, but he needs to make a decision, because after this one there will be only 3 laps left. And Tuka Taponen has been showing some strong pace as well, with 1 victory as well. And back into the pits is the unfortunate Arthur Ronjon with the Praga colors on him. So definitely not the qualifying heat that went his way. Arthur Ronjon, who was late to the party and then trailing at the back end of the grid, and he decided to come back into the pits. Conclusion of lap number 9. There's still a couple of battles raging. The first one for the victory in this qualifying heat. Nikola Tsolov in second. What am I saying? Nikola Tsolov is leading the way in the classification. Looking at 2 different spaces in my screen. But Tuka Taponen Camara split by 2 tenths. As it stands, Rafael Camara knows that from second place he will be starting on the front row of the grid for the pre-final alongside Nikola Tsolov. So he can actually decide to stay where he is, not to chase for the impossible. Tuka Taponen is in a more difficult position in the classification, outside of the top 8. So he needs that win more than ever. As we focus ourselves on the battle behind. This is the 232 of Harvey Lindblad and Daniel Briz. Daniel Briz, after overtaking the first Car Republic driver in Hugo Guchuku, is he going to go for the second one? Lindblad battling along, keeping all the doors shut. Let's see respective lap times. This is lap 11. 2 laps to go before the checkered flag, the last one of the OK class. After this one, there's no more chances for results. This is done and dusted for the pre-final. We're going to have the top 30 drivers in. 6 more at the end of the second chance heat. And I wonder who we're going to have in there. If some of the expected contenders, of course, didn't have the best of luck. We'll see about that. But as for now, Kasper Nagman, the fastest on track at the moment. The 245 on your picture. Tuka Taponen being chased, being harassed desperately by Rafael Camara. But as we said, Camara doesn't need to make the move. If he wants to preserve his engine, preserve himself, he can actually stay second and seal the deal, whatever happens, knowing that Nikola Tsolov, of course, has been uncatchable ever since the start of this week. We are entering the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Tuka Taponen, Rafael Camara, Timo Kucharczyk in third, observing what happens in front of him, but on his way to his best result so far. And further back, oh, the battle is on. David Lindblad with Daniel Briz, sorry. Briz that just came on the tail of David Lindblad in turn number 1. He was about to make his move, but Lindblad responded and shut the door. He's going to keep on really going defensive in this last lap, because it seems to me that by the look of it, that Daniel Briz is much faster on the end of this race, and certainly he's going to be willing to go for the move. Here are the top 3 drivers. I'm keeping an eye as well on the battle behind, and goes through as well. Oh, he was trying further back, but Daniel Briz is very close to having Lindblad as well. The battle for 4th place. Lindblad, Briz, one before the other into the last sector. Behind his man, Tuka Taponen. One last click of the throttle in the turn 15 and 16. This is going to be a victory in the end. The second win this weekend for Tuka Taponen. Crossing the line in front of Rafael Camara, who has secured a start on the front row of the pre-final for tomorrow. Timo Kucharczyk in third. Then we have Arvid Lindblad, who I was keeping a close watch from the corner of my eye of what's happening between Lindblad and Daniel Briz. And in the end, 50,000 of a second on the line at the advantage of the British driver. So it was very close. Daniel Briz had a bit of a move. He had a few attempts in the last lap, but Arvid Lindblad was having none of it and kept himself in the top 4. Daniel Briz is 5th. Kasper Nagman, the fastest on track, is 6th in front of Hugo Guchuku, Ruben Moya, Emieli Kovisto. Norton Andreasen is 10. Then we have Olin Ganley outside of the top 10 in 11. 12th place for Alfio Spina. Francesco Baneghi is 13. 14th place for Erolin Nirandini. Top 15 for Ariel Elkin, who really disappeared within the mix, unfortunately, for the young Israeli. 8 places dropped for Elkin. Not his race, in front of Bruno Del Pino, Karol Pazevich, Maximilian Obst, JC Lacey. Top 20 for Joel Bergström, climbing 13 positions from the last row of the grid. 21 at the end of this race. Ladan Schaap in front of Maximilian Angelar, Sandro Olzem, Alexander Kubenko, Andrea Vibrinatier. Then we have Jose Gomez Gutierrez in front of Matthias Berre-Jacobsen, as well as Kubaracki and Kevin Quevedo. Among the drivers who retired, Arthur Ronjon, Artem Severyukin, unfortunately for him, JC Carrasquedo, Giuliano Olzem, and Carmen Krav.